Welcome to an hour of yin yoga. So if you've not done yin before, or if you've not done yoga before, this practice is going to be very slow and chilled. Slow in the sense that we're going to hold the poses for a lot longer than we do usually, and kind of like a hatha or vinyasa practice. But quite often a bit more challenging than some of them practices, because we're going to have to sit with the poses and try and really get a deeper stretch into the muscles. So we're going to start laying down this evening. I'm going to start sitting up just so I can speak to you. But I want to start the practice this evening with you laying down, but see if you can put a bend in the knee. So maybe put the feet into the mat, or maybe put the soles of the feet together so the knees fall out either side. Either way, just laying down into the mat. Placing the hands either side of the body with the palms faced up, so a bit like in corpse pose or shavasana. And just gently close down the eyes. And before we start the practice, we're just going to start in some stillness. So whatever level you're at your journey with yoga, quite often the most difficult thing is to leave whatever's happened today behind and just focus on what's happening right here and now. So just starting with the body in complete stillness, just start to notice the weather patterns in the mind, whether the mind is quite busy, whether it's just nice and soft and gentle, focused on what we're doing this evening. Starting to notice the rate of the natural breath. Starting to note any sensations in the body, maybe the temperature on the skin. And then starting to notice what's happening in the body this evening. So before we start to move into the stretches, just kind of imagine you're scanning a torch down the body, just asking each part of the body kind of how it's feeling today. So from the head through to the neck, down to the shoulders, just taking a scan with your mind through the body and just noticing where in the body you're holding tension. So quite often we can live in our minds and not in our bodies. So just starting to notice where in the body you can feel any tension, maybe some pain, whatever it is that's happening for you, just noticing. And then with the eyes closed, we're just going to start to deepen the breath. So completely relax into the ground. Make sure the eyes are nice and heavy. Relax the jaw, relax the forehead. And just start to lengthen the inhale through the nose. Keep the mouth closed, and then exhale through the nose. Inhaling deeply through the nose for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And then as you exhale, just feel the chest fall. Seeing if you can keep the mouth closed for the rest of the practice, unless I advise otherwise. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then starting to hold the breath at the top. So on the next inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top, but relax all the muscles of the throat and the shoulders, the neck. Keep the breath held in. Notice the body in complete stillness. And then exhale through the nose. And again, inhaling in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. Notice if the body is tensing as we hold the breath. See if you can just soften the body. Keep that breath held in. Oxygenating every part of the body as we hold the breath in. And then exhale out. One more round of that, but this time I want you to inhale in for as long as you can. So maybe counting up to 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. Imagine you're trying to take in as much oxygen as you can through the nose, and then when you get to the top, take a little extra sip of air through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. See if you can hold the breath with the stomach and the chest, not just the throat. Feeling the oxygen going to every part of the body as we hold the breath in. And then exhale, release. And then gently start to bring the knees towards the chest. And we're just going to start to gently rock the knees from side to side. So massaging the lower back into the ground. Seeing if you can start to take the knees in circles, so take them away from the body and then towards the body in nice big circles, clockwise or anti-clockwise, whichever way you naturally go. And then when you're ready, just gently change direction, so either anti-clockwise or clockwise. Really seeing if you can massage into the lower back and really taking the knees round as much as you can. And then when you're ready, very gently releasing the left foot towards the mat with a bend in the knee. The right foot's going to straighten towards the sky, and just see how straight you can get that right leg. So it might be that the leg is a bit more towards the knee, a bit more towards the ground. Seeing if you can get that right leg as straight as possible. Feeling that stretch in the back of the right leg. And then on the inhale, you're going to straighten that leg. And then on the exhale, you're going to place the right foot towards the ground. Inhale, straighten the left leg towards the sky. Exhale, left foot goes down. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale, down. So really move with the breath. On the inhale, straighten the left foot. Imagine you're trying to push something towards the sky away from you. Lock the knee if you can, and then exhale, lower back down. Inhale, right. Exhale, down. Inhale, left. So you don't need to get the leg straight, but just as straight as you can, so you're starting to get a stretch in the back of the leg. Continuing on each side at your own pace, moving up on the inhale and down on the exhale. And then on the next one, we're going to hold. So next time that you inhale the left leg up, straighten the leg as much as you can. Make sure the upper body is nice and soft into the mat, but hold the breath. Hold that leg nice and straight. Notice the sacred silence while you hold the breath and keep the body in stillness. And then gently lower that left foot back down to the ground. This time, inhale the right foot nice and straight. Straighten that right knee as much as you can. Hold the breath, hold the posture. Make sure the jaw is nice and relaxed. And then exhale down. One more on each side. Take a gentle inhale in through the nose. Straighten that left leg. Hold. Straighten it as much as you can. Lower the shoulder blades into the ground while that breath is still being held. And then exhale, release. One more on the right side. Inhale, right leg straightens. See if you can lock that right knee out. Push the foot away from you towards the sky as you hold the breath. And then as you exhale, bring that right knee back down. This time, hugging the knees in towards the chest. You're going to see if you can hug the shins. So if you can't fit your hands around the shins, then just bringing your hands to each knee. Either way, you're going to see if you can hug the knees as close as you can towards the chest. Squeeze the knees in as close as you can. And then see if you can do this, but soften the shoulder blades into the mat. Notice any sensations in the hips or tightness in the hips. Squeeze them towards the chest as much as you can for one big inhale in through the nose and out through the nose. Gently releasing the feet towards the ground. This time you're going to take the right foot onto the left knee, and then you're going to let the right foot fall over towards the right. So having a twist to the right. If that doesn't feel right for you, you can bring both knees together and then just let the knees drop over to the left. The arms are going to come out like a T, and we're going to look over towards our right hand. So the head's twisting towards the right and the legs are twisting towards the left. Either knees together or the right foot is on top of the left knee. That'll just be a bit of a deeper stretch for the right glute and the right hip and the right hamstring. See if you can close down the eyes here and see if you can really switch off them legs towards the left side of the body. Take a deep breath in. Hold at the top. And as you exhale out, really release them legs over towards the left. Inhale in deeply. Close the eyes if they've opened. Hold the breath at the top. And use each exhale to create a little bit more space in the pose, so the legs will fall a little bit further with each exhale. Continuing with this breath of the inhale, hold, and exhale at your own pace. And if the mind starts to wander, then just bring it back to the breath. And really letting them legs twist over towards the left as much as you can. One more round of deep inhaling through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. And then exhale, release. Gently using the hands if you need to bring the knees back up to center. And before we do the other side, we're just going to take our hands on the knees, and then we're just going to take the knees away from each other and then back to center. So just gently out and then back in, just starting to reset the hips. And then maybe taking the knees in circles, releasing any tension in the hips, the twist is brought up. And then when you're ready, option to keep the knees together and drop them to the right, or the left foot is going to come to the right knee, and then you're going to drop that left foot towards the right. So either way, the legs are over the right side of the body, the arms are out like a T, and then we're looking to the left hand this time. So really let the body fall over to the left, with the left ear towards the ground, and really let the legs fall over towards the right. So we take a deep inhale in for the count of 4. Hold the breath at the top. And then exhale, just switch off the muscles in the right leg and the left leg. Close the eyes if they've opened. Take a deep breath in. Hold at the top. Exhale, release. 2 more rounds of that breath at your own pace. Seeing if you can inhale for as long as possible. Extend the time that you inhale, extend the time that you hold the breath. Maximize the oxygen intake into the body. Helping the muscles find a deeper stretch. Close the eyes if they've opened. One more round of inhale, hold, and exhale. And then again, using the hands if you need to, you're going to bring the knees back up to the chest. Just gently rock the knees from side to side, and then option to rock or to do circles with the knees, whatever feels right for you. Whichever direction with the circles, they can come together or away from each other. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll over onto your right side, so the yang side of the body. Using the hands, very gently push yourself back up, and you're going to come to a seated position. So you can sit on the knees, if that's right for you, or you can come to a cross-legged position. If you've got any issues with the knees, so maybe you can't cross the legs, you can just have the feet in front of the body with the knees bent, or you can even have your legs straight. It doesn't necessarily matter the way that the legs are for the next part of the class. It's more just that you're in a nice straight spine. So hands are going to come to the knees or just to the side of the body, wherever it's comfortable, and you're going to place the palms towards the floor. So really grounded into the palm of the hands into the knees, and then just soften the hands, soften the elbows. Then I want you to imagine that someone's lengthening your spine, so sitting as tall as you can. And then notice if the tailbone is tucked under, so the belly button, whether it's pushed forward or whether it's pushed back. So you can even put your hand on your belly button and behind the lower back. See if you can tuck the tailbone under, so the belly button's coming more towards the spine, and then create a little bit more length in the spine. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Find your comfortable meditation pose, close down the eyes. And you're going to keep the eyes closed unless you start to feel lightheaded or dizzy as we do the next exercise. If you do start to feel lightheaded, then just gently open the eyes and just slow down the breath. If you can't keep the eyes closed, you can always just look in front of you at something as well. But the idea here is that the body is going to be in stillness, and we're going to work with a pranayama exercise to create a deeper level of relaxation before we start to go into the deeper poses. So we're going to take a deep breath in through our mouth this time. And then as you exhale out, you're just going to let the breath fall out of the nose. So you're going to imagine that you're kind of taking a really big inhale through the mouth, kind of pursing the lips and pulling the teeth so there's a little gap. And then on the exhale, don't exhale with any force, just let the breath fall out through the nose. So in through the mouth, out through the nose. In through the mouth, out through the nose. Notice if the shoulders are going to want to help you do this, so see if you can lead it with the mouth. let the shoulders be heavy, and then just exhale through the nose. So you might start to get a little bit lightheaded here if you start to up the oxygen intake. Just take it nice and slow. Take a deep inhale through the mouth, keep the eyes closed. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale nice and forcefully through the mouth, taking in as much oxygen as you can. But as you exhale, just let that breath fall out with the nose. A couple more. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. If the eyes are closed, then just gently blink them open. And then just starting to take nice circles with the shoulders back. So shoulders up towards the ears and then rolling back. And then back up towards the ears and then back round again. So taking them nice and slow. So imagining for one full circle of the shoulders, you're going to count to 4. So we go up towards the ears, then we go back, and then down, and then forward. Up, back, down, forward. Seeing if you can take the circles a little bit bigger with the shoulders to really exaggerate the movement. So shoulders really come scrunched up, and then pinch the shoulder blades together as much as you can, pushing the chest out, and then back round. One more big circle. Crunches are welcome here for any, as long as they're not painful in the shoulders. And then we're going to change direction. So this time you're going to drop the shoulders away from the ears, pinch the shoulder blades together, lift the shoulders towards the ears, and then bring them forward. Shoulders back, up, forward, and round. So nice, big, slow movements. Getting a little bit deeper into that fascia, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, all that part of the joint that works for us every day. Taking 2 more big circles here. And then gently release. And then if you've got your legs in the cross-legged position, whichever leg went on top first of all, automatically, you're just going to change the leg. So my right leg goes on, sorry, my left leg goes on top automatically, just changing it so we've got a little bit of circulation in the legs. And then we're going to take our hands out like a T. Palms are going to be faced towards the earth, and you're going to drop your shoulders away from the ears. You're going to bring your left arm in front of you, and then let's take the right arm on top. So right elbow comes on top of left elbow, and it might be enough for you here to just grab opposite elbow. You've got a bit of a stretch there. You want to take it a little bit further. You're going to keep a bend in the elbows, but bring the hands up so the back of the hands come to meet each other. If you can, you're going to come to full eagle arms. So in eagle arms, with the right arm is on top, we're going to see if we can twist the right arm so the right palm meets the left. So right arm is on top, and then just see if you can get the back of the hands together, or take it a little bit further and get the palms to intertwine. And then we're going to notice if the spine is starting to curve at the top, you're going to sit nice and tall. And then on the inhale, just gently lift the elbows towards the sky. And then on the exhale, take them down. So even the really minuscule movements here. On the inhale, take the elbows up. On the exhale, take them down. Keep the eyes closed. Inhale, gently move the elbows up. Exhale down. Really breathe like you're exaggerating the breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. On the next one, we're going to hold. So you're going to take a deep breath in, lift the elbows as much as you can. This time, look towards the sky and see if you can take the elbows a little bit further, and then you're going to hold at the top. Remembering the spine is nice and long and tall. Hold the breath. And then exhale, release. Start to unravel the arms, and then just start to circle the wrists in one direction. And then changing in the opposite direction. Arms are out like a T again. This time we do the opposite side. So right hand comes in front first of all, and then we place the left hand on top of the right. And again, that might be enough for you to just grab opposite elbows. If you want to take it a little bit further, put the back of the hands together with a nice bend in the elbow. See if that's enough for you for the shoulders. But see if you can intertwine the fingers so that both palms are meeting. If you're struggling to do that, make sure that the elbows are nice, are kind of walked on top of each other. So you can kind of walk the right elbow more onto the left elbow. This is so confusing when it's on top of each other. The left elbow to the right top of the arm, And then see if you can intertwine a little bit wherever you are, whether you're holding your opposite shoulder or whether you're in full eagle arms. Close down the eyes. On the inhale, just imagine the elbows are drawing a line up and then down on the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then on the next one, we're going to hold. So on the inhale, gently take the elbows towards the sky. Look up towards the sky. See if you can take the elbows a little bit further and hold the breath and hold the posture. Remembering that spine is nice and long. See if you can create a little bit of length in the torso. Hold the breath. And then exhale, unravel the hands. Start to circle the wrists. One way. And then the opposite way. And then when you're ready, left hand's going to come to the side of the mat, and we're just going to take a really big circle with that right arm. So releasing into the arms before we go into the mat restorative poses. Taking a nice big clockwise circle with that right hand, or anti-clockwise, whichever direction you've started. But seeing if you can imagine that right hand trying to reach and draw like a really big circle, so as big as you can, getting a nice big stretch in that shoulder. And then if there's any particular part of that big circle that your body kind of starts to talk to you and say, well, that's a bit tight, I want you to find that point and just hold it there and continue to breathe. So for me, it's when my arm is behind me slightly. So just find the point for you where you feel the body's holding tension. Close down the eyes, take 3 deep breaths in and out. And then when you're ready, gently release that right hand either side of the body. And then the same with the left. So taking the left arm in a nice big circle. And then again, if there's a particular part of the circle that feels as if there's a bit of tension, seeing if you can hold it. So on this side for me, it's when my hands above my head. Finding the point for you, close down the eyes and hold here for 3 deep breaths. So remembering, the deeper we breathe, the more the body will get into a deep stretch, the more we'll stimulate the vagus nerve to switch on our rest and restore, and the less the monkey mind takes over. Take one more deep breath and then gently release. And then you're going to roll forward onto the hands and knees. So if you've got any issues with your knees here, option 2, pick another pose which feels right for you, or you can double over the mat, or you can pop a cushion under the knees. So we're not going to be moving too much. It's going to be quite a still pose when we come into it. But if you've got any issues with the knees, you might just want to soften onto the knees. So coming into tabletop. So the tabletop, back of the feet are into the mat. Hips are directly over the knees. So if you're not sure, you can even come up to make sure that your hips are over the knees, and then just lower down and keep the hips directly as they are. Hands are going to come into the mat. And then to make sure that we've got a bit of space in the shoulders, we're going to look in between the hands, put a little micro bend in the knuckles so the pressure's not quickly in the wrists. And then you're going to push the ground away from you. So you should start to feel the face and the neck, the shoulders start to come a little bit away from the ground, starting to activate in the shoulders. And then maybe that's enough for you if you want to stay there. If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to keep the hips exactly where they are. So imagine the hips and the legs are like stuck in cement, they're stuck in wood and they can't move. You're just going to very gently walk the hands 1 pace forward, remembering keeping the hips and the knees where they are, and then take the hands another pace forward. Maybe that's enough for you. If you want to, you're going to take them 1 more pace forward. Depending how tall you are, you might need to take a couple more. But for me, that's the most that I can reach, so that my hips need to stay where they are. And then I'm going to look in between the hands, and I want you to see if you can gently melt the heart towards the ground. So coming into puppy pose. So in puppy pose or heart melting pose, the chin or the forehead can come to the mat. If you can place the chin into the mat, this is better for a stretch in the front of the throat. Just make sure there's no pain in the back of the neck. And the idea here is that the hips are above the knees, but the heart is melting towards the ground. So forearms are into the mat, palms into the mat. Find your place of stillness. And stillness by no means means easy. It just means that the body is still, and we're going to calm it with the breath. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. And then exhale, see if that chest can melt a little bit further towards the ground. Inhaling deeply. Hold the breath at the top. And then exhale. One more here. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath at the top. And then exhale. Release a little bit further for the last breath. And then when you're ready, bringing the weight back into the heels, so you can kind of drag the hands back with you. And then you're going to come back up onto all fours. And if you've got cushions or pillows, you're going to just grab them here. And we're going to set up for a supported child's pose. So child's pose is wide knees and feet together. So the bum is sitting back onto the heels or as much as you can. If you can't sit back onto the heels, you can place a cushion under the bum with the heels so that it rests there as well. And then the knees are going to be mat width, or if you've not got a mat, just as wider than the hips, so they're out like a V shape. And then you're going to bring the cushions in front of you and see if you can wedge them in between the knees. And then before we go down into supported child's pose, we're just going to see if we can straighten into the spine. So the straighter the spine is, the more a forward fold we'll get into child's pose. So you're going to inhale the hands and reach towards the sky and see if you can reach so that your spine is as long as possible. And then see if you can keep that height in the spine, the nice long spine, but just gently lower the hands either side of the pillow. And then you're going to keep that length in the torso and the front of the chest and spine. And then you're going to gently fold over and walk the hands either side of the pillow. So option 2, come with your forehead into pillows, or I prefer to go cheek by cheek. So right cheek into the mat first of all, hands either side of the pillows. If you want to have the hands either side of the face, that's the traditional pose. Or if you want a more restorative, you can place the hands by the feet, either side of the body, so they're nice and gentle, relaxed as well. Wherever you are, we're in a deep hip opener here. So the sitting bones, the hips and the pelvis should be seated into the feet as much as you can. Again, if you can't get the bum to meet the feet, then just pop a cushion underneath the bum. And then close down the eyes here. Imagine the heart has got like a magnet on, and it's being drawn down towards the earth with every exhale. Keep the eyes closed if they're opened. And we're going to hold here for 5 deep breaths. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. You're going to hold the breath at the top. And then on the exhale, just letting your body surrender into the pose a little bit further. Inhaling deeply. Hold at the top. And then exhale. If your right cheek is into the cushion, then option here to just lift it up and place the left cheek into the cushion so you've got the same on each side. Continuing to breathe in deeply. Hold the breath at the top. And with every exhale, just let the body surrender into the cushions or the earth a little bit more. And one more deep breath in. Hold at the top. And then exhale up. On the next inhale, blink the eyes open if they're closed. Gently walk the hands back up. Put the cushions to the side for now. You'll need them again in a second. But for the moment, just clear them out of the way. And then option here to come to either pigeon or reverse pigeon. So the option for pigeon, we're going to go from a tabletop position. You're going to gently bring the right knee to meet the right wrist. And then you're going to take the right foot so that it meets the left hip. Sorry. So pigeon with the right foot by the left hip and right knee by the right wrist. And then the left foot is going to be straight down the mat. So we're going to start this in an upright position first of all. If this is painful, you can do the same thing on your back. So laying on the back, you're going to put the right foot on the left knee and then bring the left knee towards you. If you're in normal pigeon with me, then you're going to put your hands on the ground and walk yourself nice and tall. Walk that back foot away from you. So make sure the left leg is nice and straight, but you're going to walk the knee away from you as much as you can. So the left hip comes as close to the ground as you can. And then if that's enough for you, you're going to stay here. Just close down the eyes. Option to grab a cushion. And then you're just going to use that cushion in front of you to bring the forearms down. So the weight is coming forward, the chest is coming in, it's coming towards the right leg, the right part. And then option, if you can, you're going to rest the forehead into the ground. So setting up there for normal pigeon. If you're in reverse pigeon, then it's the same dynamics, but just upside down. So laying on the back, right foot on left knee, and then you're just bringing that left leg towards you. Either way, we're all getting a stretch in the right leg. So keeping the eyes closed, whichever pose you're in, whether it's reverse pigeon or pigeon. And quite often this pose is one of the most challenging. We store a lot of our unsaid emotions or unprocessed emotions can be held in the hips from our subconscious. So noticing here if the mind's starting to wander, noticing if there's a lot of tension in the hips. And as always with the yin yoga practice, we always come back to the breath. So we've set ourselves up in the pose, continuing to take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold at the top, and then prolong the exhale for as long as you can. Inhaling in deeply. Hold the breath. And then with the exhale, just see if you can let yourself go a little bit deeper into the pose. So if you're in traditional pigeon, just surrendering the body towards the floor, letting the hips really relax. If you're in reverse pigeon, then just gently bringing that left leg closer towards the chest with every exhale. Following the breath at your own pace. So remembering that you're in charge of the pace of the breath. Seeing if you can extend it for a little bit longer each time you take an inhale and exhale. And then just taking a check-in with the body, that every part of the body is completely relaxed. If there's a particular part, maybe the hips, feel a bit tight, just silently say to yourself in your mind, my body completely surrenders to the pose. My body completely surrenders to the pose. Letting go of any expectation in the mind that you've got somewhere to be, something to do. Acknowledging this is time for you to just let go of any tension held in the body or held in the mind. After the next exhale, if you're in reverse pigeon, then just gently releasing the left foot towards the mat. If you're in traditional pigeon, then if you've got a cushion in front of you, you're going to gently walk the hands back up so that your spine is coming back upright. And then you're going to use the hand into the mat, tuck the back toe, and just drag that right foot back. And then just gently straighten the right leg, just get the blood flowing, take whatever movements you need to, maybe some kick out with the knee. And then setting up the same on the opposite side. So for normal pigeon, from tabletop, we're just going to slide that left knee to left wrist. And then the left foot should be in line with the right hip. Very difficult to get your left and right when you're feeling so relaxed. And then walk that back foot away from you. Hands either side of the body and sit up nice and tall first of all. Option to bring that cushion. If you're in reverse pigeon, then it's the same on the opposite side. The left foot's going to come to the right knee, and then you're going to edge that left leg a bit closer towards you. Sorry, the right leg closer towards you. And then option to come down onto the forearms, or option to take the forehead all the way to the mat and let the chest really fall in towards the left leg. So find your place of stillness in pigeon on the left side of the body. And again, whichever pose it is that you're in, whichever option or version you've picked for you this evening, just seeing if every part of the body can be nice and relaxed. If it's not, then just gently reminding yourself in your mind that body surrenders to the pose. And just acknowledging that any tension that you feel in the hips or the glutes maybe, or the legs even, there's tension in the muscles, maybe from physical activity, maybe from frustration or some held emotions, maybe just from lack of activity as we're spending a lot more time indoors. Using the exhale to go a little bit further into the pose. So each exhale will open new doors. It will literally create space in the body. We're taking a deep inhale in. Hold the breath. And then exhale, just go a little bit deeper into the pose with the left hip. Giving your body permission to go that little bit deeper for the last few breaths. Closing the eyes if they've opened. Remembering the dedication to the practice this evening. Whatever thoughts are coming by in the mind, they're not relevant to what's happening right now. Bring your awareness to the present moment and any sensations in the body. And on the last breath, see if you can inhale for as long as possible. And then you're going to exhale and just create that little bit, a last bit of space in the pose, going that little bit deeper. And then gently release whichever pose you're in. If it's reverse pigeon, just releasing the feet towards the mat. If you're in normal pigeon, then releasing the hands towards the ground, walk yourself back up. And then you're going to come back, and then we're all going to meet in a seated position. So coming back to on the sitting bones. Option to keep the legs crossed in front or straight in front if that's right for you. Or I'm going to give you another variation this evening before we move towards the relaxation part. You've got the option to join me in square leg pose. So if you can cross your legs, that's right for you, whichever variation you want. If you want to, you're going to see if you can get draw a straight line with the left leg. So the left foot is in front of the body, the left heel and the right knee are in a straight line. And then you're going to see if you can stack the right foot on top of it. So the right foot is going to come to the left knee, and the left knee is going to be on top of the left foot. So there'll probably be quite a big gap in between them, but it's as if you've literally got one of them stacked on top of each other. So when you look down, there should be that your legs are drawing a straight line. That might be too much for you today, and you might just want to cross your legs. Or you can even, to start to ease towards this pose, a really good pose to do is butterfly legs. So your soles of your feet together, and you're just gently knocking the knees out either side. But seeing if you can do the square leg variation. For some reason, I find it easier with my left leg underneath my right, but you can do it with it as well. So finding a comfortable seated position with the legs. And then gently close down the eyes. Hands are going to come just in front of the belly button with the palms on top of each other. So the back of the right hand on top of the left palm, and just settle them down in front of the belly button or the stomach. Keep the eyes closed. And then we're going to return to the breath exercise we did a short while ago. We're going to take a deep inhale through the mouth. And then on the exhale, just let the breath fall out of the nose or the mouth. Sharp inhale through the mouth. And then let it go. Inhale, let it go. Inhale, let it go. Inhale through the mouth. Let the breath fall out. Keep the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Inhaling, exhale out. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Really suck the breath in through the mouth. Getting all that fresh oxygen straight to the lungs. And then exhale, just relax. Inhale, exhale. 5 more of these. Inhaling, exhale out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And then exhale, release. And then gently just tuck the chin towards the chest. So we're going to come to the more restorative part of the practice now, lying down on the mat. So before we do, just see if you can let the head be completely heavy. And then you're just going to very gently rock the head from side to side. So left ear to the left shoulder and then right to right. And just notice any tension in the neck. See if you could just gently move through that before we come down to the mat. So just rolling the head from side to side. And then again, if there's any parts of tension in the neck where you feel as if it's difficult for your body to move through, maybe a bit of tension on the right or the left side of the neck, you're going to find that point and you're just going to hold there, close the eyes, and just breathe. Breathe as if you're sending breath to that part of the tension in the neck. Sorry, part of the neck with the tension. Really extending the inhale, exhale, and then gently bring the chin back towards the chest. Gently bring the head back up and then just start to roll the shoulders forward and back, releasing any tension in the shoulders before we come down towards the mat. And then releasing the legs in front of you. Feet are going to come in front of the body. Keep a bend in the knees and then seeing if you can lower back down towards the mat with the hands in front of you and just gently lower back down. Really use the feet grounded into the floor and then gently come back down to the mat. Keep a bend in the knees. And then we've got a couple of options for the next pose. The first option, if it's enough for you, is you're just going to keep the knees above the hips. So we're looking for an inversion here, which means that the legs are higher than the heart. If you can, you're going to straighten the legs up towards the sky. That's another option. Or a supported option is you're going to release the feet towards the ground. You're going to lift the hips up off the ground, and then we're just going to slide a cushion or a pillow under the hips. So 2 pillows if you can. You might need to really lift the hips up so that when they come down, they're fully supported. So you want the cushion, or you can use a block or even a jumper, whatever you've got. You want it to be where the back pockets would be if you had a pair of jeans on. So when the hips are back down, they are slightly raised off the ground, slightly higher than the heart. And then we're going to see if we can also incorporate an arm stretch here so that we're getting a full body tension release. So on the inhale, you're going to take the hands up towards the sky in front of the face. Hold them there for a second as you hold the breath. And then on the exhale, take the back of the hands towards the ground above the head. You can gently bend the elbows if that's right for you. Or you can even put a really generous bend in the elbow and have a cactus arm. See if you can find a place for the arms so that you've got a little bit of stretch in the shoulders and the arms as well. If that doesn't feel right, if you've got any shoulder issues or injuries, the hands are just going to come either side of the hips with the palms faced up. Or maybe you could put them out like a T. So there's lots of options in yin, and that's because everyone's body is built differently. Everyone is carrying around different trauma. Everyone is carrying around different injuries. And yin's all about just learning what feels right for your body. So finding a place with the arms and maybe the hips a little bit inverted, or maybe the knees are up towards the chest. Wherever you are, just close down the eyes. Find your place of stillness in this pose. And you might feel as if the body's not doing too much at the moment. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, you're going to see if you can just let every part of the body just completely let go. Let go of any of that anxiety you're holding on to. Let go of any of the thoughts about what's going to happen in the future. Your to-do list for the week ahead. None of that is under your control right now. The only thing that you have to do is just completely let your body relax into the pose. And even if you don't feel as if the pose is doing much at the moment, with the hips slightly inverted above the heart, we're changing the flow of the energy, inverting the blood flow ever so slightly. Starting to send fresh blood around the body. And also giving the hips a much needed relax away from sitting at a dining room table or working from home desk. Keep the eyes closed if they've opened. An option to keep the eyes closed, but just focus the eyes on the third eye. So almost as if you're trying to look in between the eyebrows, but the eyes are closed. Relax the forehead, relax the jaw. Continuing with the deep inhale, exhale. And just start to notice if you've lost connection to the breath. Just always bring it back to the inhale and exhale. We're going to take a deep inhale together for the count of 4. At the top of the breath, you're going to hold. And then in the exhale this time, you're going to open your mouth and sigh it out. Inhale in deeply. Hold at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale deeply. Hold at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. If you've got cushions under the hips, then you're going to gently bring the hands either side of the body, lift the hips up, and then just gently remove the cushions from underneath the hips. Again, keep them close in case we need them in a second. But for now, we're going to lift the hips up. So the knees are going to come up in front of the chest, and then you're going to straighten the legs towards the sky. That might be enough for you, but you're going to see if you can reach towards the shins. See if you can bend the knees, so the knees are going to come towards the armpits, and we're going to come to happy baby. So in happy baby, you can grab the peace fingers around the toes if you can. So you want a really generous bend in the knee here. We don't want straight legs. We want really bent knees. See if you can grab the palms of the hands onto the soles of the feet on the inside. And then you're just going to gently rock from side to side. So keeping the knees as close as you can towards the armpits. Again, just holding the knees or the shins if that's enough for you. And then just gently rock from side to side wherever you are. Resetting the pelvis and the lower back. Releasing any of that deep tension in the hips. And then just find a place of stillness and just hold here for 5 deep breaths at your own pace. Pick a pace that suits you, inhaling for as long as you can. Holding the breath. And then exhaling out. Two more breaths at your own pace. And then when you're ready, very gently bringing the knees together. And then start to take some circles with the knees again. So maybe take them away from each other and then back around. And then change the direction of the circles. And then finishing off with the pose that we started with before we do the final relaxation. On the inhale, gently place the left foot towards the mat. Take the right foot towards the sky on the inhale. And then on the exhale, lower the right foot towards the ground. Inhale, left leg goes as straight as it can towards the sky. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, right foot towards the sky. Exhale, down. Inhale, left foot. Exhale, down. One more each side. Inhale, right foot towards the sky. Exhale, down. Inhale, left foot towards the sky. Exhale, down. And then gently releasing the feet towards the mat. Make the feet mat width distance, so nice and wide with the feet. Wider than the hips, and let the feet fall out. Setting up for your Shavasana pose or the corpse pose. Traditional corpse pose is with the hands either side of the body with the palms faced up. And then walk the hands very slightly away from the body. Feet are wider than the hips. Shoulders are away from the ears. Eyes are closed. And then I'm going to give you an option for a variation of Shavasana with some support. So placing the pillow underneath the back of the knees so the legs can completely relax. And then option to bring a pillow behind the back of the heart. So if you do this behind the back of the heart, just make sure that the neck feels okay. But you just want kind of the heart space to be very gently raised off the ground. And then make sure that the palms are faced towards the sky. So find whichever Shavasana pose suits you this evening. And if you've got a particular part of the body that just needs one last stretch before you do relaxation, then just take that now as well. The more we can release any of the tension from the muscles, the more we will find a place of relaxation. So take any adjustments you need. Switch off the light. Grab a cushion or a pillow or a blanket or socks. Take any adjustments you need. And if anyone is doing this practice, setting up for relaxation and maybe struggling with a distracted mind, I want you to just start to connect in with the breath on a deeper level. So starting to connect in with the breath on the inhale for the count of 5. Give yourself permission to take some time to just relax and recharge the batteries, and then exhale deeply. And then finding your place of stillness in Shavasana, we're going to completely let go of the breath. So we've done practice this evening, really focused on deep inhales in and out, using the nose and the mouth. And for Shavasana, we're just going to let the body continue to breathe normally as it would do all day, every day, without us giving it a second thought. Instead, before we start to release into Shavasana, we're just going to give ourselves permission to relax. So acknowledging that we live in a world which is very busy. There's a lot to be stimulated with our mind, with the news, social media. Just acknowledging the challenge sometimes to just sit in stillness. Even when we relax and we watch the television or read a book, we never truly just sit in stillness and let the body just be withdrawn from all the senses. So keeping the eyes closed, seeing if you can connect in with the sense of temperature. The body feels warm. Maybe any breeze you can feel on the body or coolness on the skin. And then silently repeating to yourself in your mind, I give my body the opportunity to completely relax in Shavasana. I deserve time to stop and restore. And I notice any sensations where my body is in complete stillness. Starting to connect in with a visualization. Mind is so intelligent that when we imagine experiences, we can stimulate the same sensation as if we are there. So starting to just notice how heavy the head is into the cushion or the mat. Starting to relax the eyebrows and the forehead. Starting to visualize a warm lavender oil just being gently massaged into the forehead and the temples, across the eyebrows, and on the top of the scalp, the side of the scalp, the back of the neck. Starting to really relax the eyes, cheekbones. Gently open the jaw if it's closed, so there's a small gap in between the teeth, relaxing the tongue and the jaw completely. And again, if the mind is wandering, just repeat to yourself in your mind, I surrender to Shavasana. I give my body permission to stop and restore. I notice what happens when I am in complete stillness. Starting to notice any sensations in the shoulders. Drop the shoulder blades into the mat, almost as if they're melting into the mat like butter in a pan. Letting the left arm be completely heavy and the right arm be completely heavy. Starting to let the chest be heavy as you gently feel the belly and the chest rise with the breath. Notice any sensations around the belly button. Completely relaxing the hips into the ground. Noticing any conscious or unconscious tension the body is holding on to around the stomach area, the gut instinct, or our navel area. Releasing the back of the pelvis into the ground. Releasing each hip, the left and the right. Letting the left leg be completely heavy, all the way down to the big toe. And the right leg completely heavy. Seeing if you can make the body a little bit more heavy with each breath. Silently repeating to yourself in your mind, I let go of any tension I am holding on to. Whether you know you hold on to it or whether you're not sure what part of the body it's held. And then just giving yourself time to just bathe in the stillness of Shavasana, as if you're plugged into a charging point. So drawing all the senses that we have to use all day, every day. Reflecting on this quote this evening as you enjoy your relaxation. Acknowledging that yoga is not about being bendy. It's about showing up to your mat consistently, not knowing what is going to happen, and being okay with that. It's about rehabilitating yourself and not believing the expert when they say you are too injured or too old to feel well. It's about believing that you can do anything, even if it's the most scariest, impossible thing you could ever dream of. It's about uncovering who you really are. It's about being kind to yourself so that you can then be kind to others. Yoga is about discovering that most of the crazy thoughts in your head are not true. It's about being healthy without pushing yourself past your limits. It's about slowing down to get strong. It's about breathing and moving and smiling on the inside. It's the hardest thing I have ever done, but it is also the best. Finishing your Shavasana with a big dose of gratitude for yourself for spending an hour with the body and the breath. And wherever you are in your yoga practice, just acknowledging the dedication it takes to take an hour out of the day to sit in stillness and not be distracted or stimulated with something else that we have going on. And as you enjoy the last few moments of Shavasana, I want you to start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Gently reaching the hands above the head. Point the toes and just take a full body stretch as if you just woke up from bed this morning. And then gently rolling over onto your left side. So finishing the practice on the yin side of the body, the left side of the body. Tucking yourself up into a little ball with the knees towards the chest. And then option to finish the practice here if that's what your body's asking for. If you want to finish with me, you're going to use the hands to push yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. That could be cross-legged, or you could be sitting back onto the knees. Challenge, if you can, to place the bum onto the ground and see if you can place the feet each side of the bum. Whichever pose you're finishing the practice in, gently bringing the hands to prayer at heart center, pinching the shoulder blades together, making sure there's a nice space in the ears and the shoulders. Gently bowing your hands towards, your head towards your hands. Starting to notice how the body feels compared to when you arrived on the mat this evening. Start to notice if you're a little bit more connected to the breath. And then option to set yourself one intention for the rest of the week. Starting a new week tomorrow on Monday. Maybe set yourself one intention to just connect back in with the breath and the body once a day. Knowing that the breath is always there for you to reset your nervous system, find a little bit of peace and calm in what is a very crazy world at the moment. If it feels right for you, gently bring in your hands in prayer towards your forehead and just bow into the practice and to the energy of each other this evening. Namaste. Namaste. And thank you so much for letting me practice with you today. I hope you sleep like a baby.